Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are reacting to the SAG Awards. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the show and react to it live today. I was a little busy when it started, and I decided that instead of kind of trying to jump in the middle of it, I wanted to just let it finish and then just kind of go on the website and look it up. And so I think I've waited long enough. I'm assuming all of the awards have been announced, and I think the reason I'm assuming that is I am in a group chat with a couple other people that will talk about Oscar stuff, and the chat has been blowing up, and so I'm assuming it's done, and I'm assuming something crazy happened. So I'm excited. I haven't seen anything yet, so I'm on the SAG website, and I just scrolled all the way down to the bottom. Because I don't know the order they're in, I'm just going to give you all my predictions up front. Because SAG, it's pretty easy. There's only a couple categories, right? So first category for it was stunts. I went with Dune Part 2, but that one was a toss-up between Dune Part 2 or The Fall Guy. Like, I totally see the narrative for The Fall Guy winning, being a movie about stunts, but I still went with Dune Part 2 just because I felt like being the Best Picture winner, or, excuse me, Best Picture nominee in that category, I just felt like it was, had a little bit better of a shot. And then for the acting categories, I went probably pretty boring, I think, with my picks. So, actor, I went with Kieran Culkin. Supporting actress, I went with Zoe Saldana, so I predicted those two for sweeps. And then for actor, I think a lot of people on Awards Expert, I think the majority of people were picking Timothée Chalamet, which made sense because, this is the place where, you thought that he could pull out a win, and he, a complete unknown, had so many different wins, or so many nominations at the SAG Awards, so I totally get why it made sense for him to be the front runner. I just felt like I maybe was going with the boring pick in terms of saying, like, yeah, I'm just going with him because it'll shore up the race. It'll be 3 out of the 4 categories as being sweepers. Like, it just felt like the thing that probably just felt like it was going to happen to me. So that's what I went with. I went with Adrian Brody over Timothée Chalamet. And then actress, I did what I also think is maybe the boring of the two, but I mean, I guess it's the upset pick, but I think it makes it boring for the Oscar. I went with Mikey Madison. And I think a lot of people are picking Demi Moore because SAG is typically a body that kind of goes a little bit more narrative based as opposed to they'll pick the one that's I don't want to say that they're intentionally not picking the best performance, but sometimes I feel like that is kind of what they do, where they do kind of lean so heavily toward the narrative of it all. I think that's the actors branch kind of does that, and I think Demi has the better narrative than Mikey. With that said, though, I just feel like Mikey Madison, with the BAFTA win, and with if we're saying Anora is going to win Best Picture, then it would make sense, I think, for Mikey Madison to come along with that. So I ultimately I think that's what's going to happen at the Oscars, and so to make that easier for me to predict that at the Oscars, I'm going with I'm going with Mikey Madison for that reason, to make it shore up a little bit at the Oscars. And that's also part of the reason you might have noticed the last 3 days I did the category breakdowns, I did all the acting videos. Today's not the actress video because I need SAG to give me a little bit more clarity. I need potentially a Mikey Madison win here to completely shore it up for me. If Demi Moore wins, then it's a little more uncertainty, and it's like 55-45 leaning Demi's way at that point, but we'll see what happens when we get there. And then for Ensemble, I think the way I kind of just thought of it was I went with Mikey and actress, so I went away from Anora in Ensemble. Ensemble is so weird. This, like, it could be any of them. Wicked, because it has so many nominations here. I think it leads. I think it's Wicked and A Complete Unknown. I think lead in nominations, so it could be either of those. Could be Emilia Perez, and then it's Anora or Conclave. So I think because I went with Mikey and actress, I ended up going with Conclave in Ensemble, because I guess I was picking Mikey Madison to shore up the actress for me, and then I think I'm kind of going Conclave as almost like a hope thing of, like, to make picture as chaotic as possible when we get to the Oscar ceremony a week from today. So ultimately that's what I ended up going with. So quick run through. So I went with Dune Part 2 for stunts, Zoe Saldana, Kieran Culkin, Adrian Brody, Mikey Madison, and Conclave. So let's see. Okay, so I'm scrolling up here. So it looks like the first thing I'm seeing here is Stunt Ensemble, and it did go to The Fall Guy. So went Fall Guy over Dune Part 2, which, again, makes total sense because it's a movie about stunts. Like, I mean, if you're going to nominate it in the category, you might as well pick it to win. Like, that's what it is. Now I'm seeing Kieran Culkin's face. So, Kieran Culkin, outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role. Obvious. Like, that was the most locked. Even though this is a pretty good 4 out of 5, being there at the Oscars, like, it just, no one else was competing with Kieran Culkin this year. Like, it was just a clear runaway, a clear sweeper. So, kind of, I mean, not exciting to have it, like, wrapped up because I love chaos, but it's also nice for trying to get predictions right. I would love to one year be able to go 23 for 23 on my predictions at the Oscars, and I guess this helps with that. So next up is female actor in a supporting role, and it's Zoe Saldana. I'm on the SAG website, and it's kind of hard to, like, by the time you scroll up to even see what the category is, you're already seeing the picture of who it is. So Zoe Saldana, female actor in a supporting role. I think a lot of people were kind of going Ariana Grande here because of the love that Wicked got, but it feels like this is one of those that the entire season Zoe Saldana, I think, has the narrative for her. So if you're kind of using the narrative as a reason to pick Demi Moore over Mikey Madison in the substance, you use the narrative as well to pick Zoe Saldana over Ariana Grande. Zoe Saldana being this actress that's been around for a while, has been in a lot of these big blockbuster films, kind of this being one of her first roles that is being appreciated by the Academy. Kind of one of the first opportunities they have to nominate and award her. So it made sense that she was a sweeper all the way through. So our supporting categories are just wrapped up when we get to the Oscars. Before I scroll up, I'm guessing actor is next because we did supporting actor first. So let's see, male actor in a leading role, and that is Timothée Chalamet. Okay. Um, I should have gone with it. I felt like it's not every day that you get to say that you're making the underdog pick by picking the guy that's won every other precursor. So it felt like kind of the safe thing for me to do was go with Adrian Brody. But Timothée Chalamet gets the win here, and that's exciting because I like it not being sweeps. I like there being multiple people winning all over the place. A, for chaos purposes, and then B, just to reward a whole lot of multiple people. Unfortunately for Timothée Chalamet, Oscar voting is already closed, so this isn't going to affect him at all. Like, it's not like this. People might see this and see he won and then say, oh, actually, I want to vote for him too. And, it's not going to have any sway. So I think Adrian Brody, has the Oscar still wrapped up, but that's still exciting to see Timothée Chalamet get one. And then actress. So here we go. This is where I'm now a little. If Timothée Chalamet won, I think Demi Moore probably won because it does feel like they're going all narratives. I'm still going Mikey Madison, but I feel like it could be Demi Moore. It's Demi Moore. Okay. So, actress. Okay, this is a little sneak peek for tomorrow's. Yeah, for tomorrow's video. Yeah, I've got to upload that one tomorrow. Actress tomorrow. Okay. So, little sneak peek. So so Globe went to Demi Moore and Fernanda Torres. And then Critics' Choice went to Demi Moore. BAFTA went to Mikey. And SAG has gone to Demi. So Demi has 3 of the 4 precursors. All Mikey has is BAFTA. Because I'm trying to think. So, because Globe, Globe and Critics' Choice, I don't know if I put much weight or much stock into those. So if we're just looking at BAFTA versus SAG here, if you're looking at BAFTA for Mikey, SAG for Demi, which one has more of a correlation going to the Oscars? Man, for prediction purposes, this sucks because I know whichever one I pick is gonna be wrong when we get to the Oscars. But in terms of chaos, this is so because I think this is again, I think this is like I was saying, maybe it's like 55-45 Demi now is maybe the front runner. Um, but I have such a hard time seeing how did Mikey Madison win at BAFTA over Demi Moore? Like, is this solely a thing of just like the BAFTAs don't love the substance and like every other body does? So will that translate to the Oscars like the substance as much as or is to the same degree that the BAFTAs did, or do they like it as much as everyone else did? Like, what does that mean for how people would have voted for for Demi Moore, when maybe this is another thing I need to look up before my video tomorrow. When did SAG voting take place? Did it take place before the BAFTA? Were they just influenced by Critics' Choice and Globe, and then BAFTA came in and did Mikey Madison as Oscar voting? Like this whole award season is just kind of the timelines are all over the place. I just don't know what it means. But I delayed the actress video from today to tomorrow because of this reason. I didn't know what to think of this, and now I still don't know. And I delayed it a day and didn't get any more clarity. So okay, now I'm thinking if Demi Moore won actress for Ensemble, I went with Conclave, but now I'm almost wondering if this is where Honora gets its love, because I feel like Honora is going to win something here, because the guilds have been the areas, have been the ones that have been showing the love for Honora. It's not like the precursor voting bodies. It's been all of the guilds, the DGA, the PGA, the WGA. So now to have the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, to be the one to not award it anything would be kind of crazy. So I'm still sticking with Conclave because that's what I picked going in, and I think that makes it a fun, Oscar race. But let's see. It is Conclave. Okay. So, all right. Now I'm trying to think of what does that mean for picture at the Oscars. So Conclave now has BAFTA and SAG Ensemble. Honora has Critics' Choice, which I don't have a whole ton of faith in, but the DGA, PGA, WGA, like all the guild support, is so huge for Honora. And then Brutalist and Amelia Perez have the Globe. So this is, I think it's a two-horse race. I think it's between Honora and it's between Conclave. Okay, I'm kind of like working through some of my thoughts, because so many of my thoughts had always been, because I thought that Honora was locked for picture, I was kind of putting Mikey Madison as locked for actress, because like I just don't see how Honora wins picture and Mikey Madison doesn't win actress, is kind of my thought. And so even when all the signs are kind of pointing towards Demi Moore maybe now winning actress, because there's also, I'm so confident in Demi Moore because she has the makeup nomination. The makeup win almost always correlates with an acting win, and so it's like I have that kind of pulling me towards Demi, and then I had the Honora thing, the best picture, pulling me to Mikey. Now is it really just a case of, is Honora not winning picture? And so then that means Mikey's not winning actress. So then you can get Demi actress with the makeup correlation. Then you get Conclave picture, and then Conclave gets a package of picture, screenplay, editing. Would that be it? Is that all it would get? Because I don't think it's getting any of its crafts. It could get score, but I think that's pretty locked up for the Brutalist. So I think that's all you would have for Conclave, is just those three, which is an okay package. But then you'd get Conclave a Best Picture winner without a director nomination, which is fine. It can happen. It happened a couple years ago with Coda. Okay. This is fun. This is good, because I was kind of, like I said with my predictions, I made a lot of my SAG predictions to kind of come in and just confirm and solidify what we were thinking the race was going to be, aside from me predicting Conclave in Ensemble, because I picked that to kind of shake it up. But everything else I was picking to be like the confirmation things to confirm what we think is going to happen. So it's fun to see this actually happen, to see a little bit of a shake-up. So now I think you've got your supporting categories are locked up thanks to SAG and everything else. I think actor is still like, I'm 90% locked on Brody, like it's going to be Brody. Picture and actress are the two categories that SAG, I think, kind of kept us in flux. I don't think you can really say that SAG shook them up, but SAG had the opportunity to solidify what we were thinking, and it didn't do that. And so now we're going to have a fun week here, one more week before the Oscars, where we're going to get a whole lot of discussion, and it's going to be a whole lot of me flipping back and forth and changing my mind on what I'm thinking and what I'm predicting, all the way up until Sunday afternoon, when I'll kind of make my final Oscar predictions. So that's a lot of fun. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the SAG Awards. Were you surprised? Was this, or were you happy with these with these winners? I'm, for the most part, I'm pretty happy. I think with these winners. And then just to give you a heads up on kind of what's coming up the rest of this week, you can kind of tell we're down to the last couple category breakdown videos. On Friday, I should be doing my Best Picture category breakdown, and then Saturday will be my my Oscar nominations, or my Oscar winners prediction video. There's a chance that on Sunday I might upload like a little something that morning, kind of like if I've made any changes, if I have updated any predictions. But for the most part, my plan is on Saturday to upload the winners prediction video. So just a little heads up of what's coming up this week. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to like this video and then subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos in my category breakdown series or just in any of my Oscar coverage, I would greatly appreciate it, and have a great day.